They've opted to open the 21-day practice period for Deshaun Watson, and I understand, like, he's been instrumental with Shedeur. Now, I don't know how you can help Shedeur if you can't run the offense yourself, right? Like, I don't know how that's like, hey, you didn't really fit in this offense. Teach the fifth rounder this one.
Isn't that like the whole basis with a lot of people when they say teachers, though? Like, most people teach because they can't do?
Yeah, but Deshaun could do other things. He just can't do this offense.
See, now you got me turned up. I don't know what to tell you there.
In fairness, I kind of mental pretzeled myself.
I don't know. By the way, so Deshaun did work on the back of field. Mary Kay's tweeting out a video of it. So he's in the back of field, the one with Dillon Gabriel and Bailey Zappi.
Oh, did he get the hungry dogs period?
Yeah, well, because this is what we now know, is that the idea that there's two separate fields, and then is that your hungry dogs?
Yeah.
Stay hungry.
Not hungry enough.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah.
Shedeur had the shirt on today, hungry dogs.
Which, by the way, never really loved hungry dogs run faster. I mean, like, just feed your damn dog.
Always liked it.
Yeah.
Always liked it.
Feed your damn dogs.
I fall for motivational things, though. You should know this about me. I do. There's a time in my life I like motivational stuff. Not as much anymore.
That is a cousin to self-help. Do you do a little self-help, too?
No, not as much. I like I don't know. I like what the motivational. It's never a bad thing to be like, all right, that made me want to try a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But now at 36, I don't try nearly as much, and so it just kind of goes away.
The point of getting older is you get to try less and less.
It just kind of goes away.
You just get to kind of release.
But
slowly.
they're on two different fields is the point, and so it's Bailey Zappi and Dillon Gabriel, and then Deshaun on this one field, and then Shedeur on the main highlighted field on the other side.
Yeah.
He's not really going to do much anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and listen, I would be surprised if he was activated this week. I think probably at the heart of my frustration, at the heart of the rage that you heard in the first segment, is that I agree with you. I think he is going to play this year. And it's just an absolute, like, by the time I think Deshaun is ready to play, I think the only thing he can do is maybe be just good enough to get a win that you don't really need, and cost yourself some draft position. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel winning you games, that's what I want. I want you to win games with young guys who have potentially a long-term spot here in Cleveland, where I can see growth, right? Where I can see some real encouragement here. That, to me, is building towards something. Deshaun playing in week 17 and getting a win over, I can't remember is it Pittsburgh that week?
The final week?
Yeah. No, final week is week 18
Bengals.
is Bengals, yeah. But like getting a meaningless win at the end of the season, giving basically the Lovie Smith. Like, to me, I don't think Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel,
the Bears-Texans game,
winning one or two more games here, I don't think either of those guys winning games at this point in the season is Lovie Smithing.
Although that did end up giving him C.J. Stroud. Funny how that works.
Well, that was 1 versus 2. This would be like probably pick 3 versus pick 10.
No, I mean, it don't matter. But what I'm saying is, like, the funny thing about that end result with Lovie Smith is it actually worked out in the Texans' favor in a massive way because they got C.J. Stroud, who turned into their franchise quarterback. Like, it all in turn worked out when at the time people thought it was devastating. But your point remains. I think it's easy as this. I mean, if Shedeur, the opportunity is right there for him. If you don't want to see Deshaun Watson play football this year, then anybody that wants to come out here and talk about the EPA numbers for Shedeur Sanders, I'd suggest maybe you quiet down that noise. And for the people that didn't show up in the stadium this last weekend, if you really, truly don't want to see Deshaun Watson play, come out in spades for Shedeur.
Wait, real quick. Are you leveraging the fear of us having to watch Deshaun Watson play this year?
That's exactly what I was trying to accomplish that last segment. I was trying to accomplish that last segment and got derailed. I want to accomplish that, yes. Yes, the answer is simple. It's all right there for you. Shedeur is the reason why Deshaun will or will not play this season, in my estimation. If Shedeur plays good or good enough, Deshaun will never see the field.
No, but see, this can boomerang.
He won't ever have to see the field.
But this can boomerang. If he doesn't play well enough, I'm going to start getting mad at him because I have to watch Deshaun Watson play again.
Well, that's why we need to
thought this one out.
No. We need to bury those EPA numbers. We need to bury the ugly if it happens to turn ugly, and we need to go ahead and highlight some of the positives. If you're true one direction in this, okay, not the band, like your actual
Harry
one
Styles.
Direction in this is to make sure that you never see Deshaun Watson start a football game again this year. Then you need to become a shahonk. You need to become the biggest Shedeur supporter imaginable. What about Shedeur? He is whatever you want to call it. Whatever. That's a little mean spirited.
Well, no, those are okay. Yeah,
little mean spirited,
but it sounds funny.
No doubt.
Okay.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
It's a banger. But, it's a little mean-spirited. But if you never want to see Deshaun Watson play again, then the answer is simple. Shedeur's got to do his part.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going full Shedeur if it means I don't ever have to watch Deshaun Watson play this year. Because I'm already also open to what you said, that if the cap nerds are right and Deshaun Watson's going to be here next year anyways, I'm already reeling with the fact that I'm probably going to have to see him next year. I could just use a full year cleanse of not having to watch that guy.
You know how dangerous this gets for the Browns if Deshaun Watson gets to play the final 2 games of the season and looks competent to good? Yeah. That's not good for the offseason prospects of everything.
Yeah, but I think
this is the team that would convince themselves that he's better than any other option that they can get.
But let's be honest, how desperate do you have to be? How embarrassingly desperate for an organization that is already embarrassing and desperate. How embarrassingly desperate is it that he goes out and has a good game against a collapsing Steelers team or a Bengals team that might be out of the playoffs by then, and then they can take a victory lap?
I get it, but it's embarrassing, sure, but it's also the type of thing that you do when you're desperate to try to make Deshaun Watson be anything different than what he's been.
It's the kind of desperate thing that you do when you just have no respect for your fans.
Well, but that
needs to be said.
But this is why I think it's important when we have guys like Albert on. Me and you are passionate about this because we care about this franchise, and we've cared about how long this franchise has suffered, and we want this team to be as good as it possibly can, and also because we know we'll be here for the next 40 years discussing this team, right?
And probably Deshaun Watson under contract for the Cleveland Browns.
But when we talk to guys like Albert, what did Albert try to pitch to us earlier on in the season? He kept going back to the idea of who's the best quarterback in this room. That was his view. His viewpoint of it, and I didn't agree with it, you didn't agree with it, but his viewpoint is, and this is Albert Breer talking, who's the best quarterback in that room? And that's how these guys see this. They don't see this the way that you and I see it. They see it completely, they see it completely differently. They're going to bend over backwards to try to make Deshaun be something that he isn't, and they're going to try to bend over backwards to make him be good again, and they're going to give him every opportunity to do so.
216-474-0092. Will Deshaun Watson play at some point this year?
Who would you rather watch in week 17 and 18? Dillon Gabriel?
Yeah, it's not even close.
Okay.
Yeah. I cannot stress it enough. I don't know anyone that wants to see, other than Frank.
I mean, we might just turn off our TVs if it gets to that point. I'm not sure, but
honestly, it actually might be the thing that makes me not watch Browns football at the end of the season. And understand the things. And again, I'm not the person that raged against Deshaun for 3 years, right? I tried to give it as much of an opportunity as I possibly could. I squinted as hard as I could in that Raiders game. If you only had the Amari touchdown, he would have been. But the reality is, it's not even about Deshaun anymore. It's not about the human being. It's about the whole ordeal. It's about the massive failure of the Cleveland Browns and their inability to ever really own it. Like, they've said the words. They've said the magic words. We own that. And then they've continued to run an organization with a level of hubris and a lack of awareness that is befuddling to me. Like, at some point, if you really want to show me that you own this decision, don't have Jimmy Haslam at the owners' meetings in April say, hey, we know it didn't work out and it's on us. No, own it by not putting him out on the field at least this year, where the only thing he can do is play just well enough for you to convince yourself that he's your quarterback going forward for one more year and win a game that takes you out of draft positioning. Nope, no thank you. Like, show me that you've learned your lesson. And again, 2026 is different because 2026 is, if he's under contract I understand you got to give him some ability. You can't just do what the Texans did, which is put him on, the inactive list or the...
Yeah.
I keep saying commissioner's list. That's not what it was.
The inability to perform list or whatever that is.
But I know you can't do that for another full season because then you will have a grievance. But specific to this year, it's a lost year. Don't make it worse by pissing me off. Just don't.